Hey guys, how you doing? It's your boy, Mr. Luke M. Brooks. I hope that everyone's doing well. This is another live. It's a little bit more staged, more intentional as we talk about some of the great things that we talk about here on this channel. So on my channel, I talk about how we shift our mindset from negative to positive, doing actions instead of just sitting here, just complaining, not really doing anything to help the situation. Because talking to most folks, some folks just want to give up on life. And that's not what this is about. This is about us fighting, wanting something. If you believe that you're working a 40-hour job every week for 40 years and only getting 50% of what, or 40% of what you can live off of, not counting the inflation, then this channel's for you, because at the end of the day, that's going to make you go crazy. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about today about how to get the mindset right, how to get the right mindset to be exact. So just give me a few seconds as we get more people to log in. And I am going to go ahead and actually start sending this over to everyone who is watching on YouTube land, because a lot of folks are bugging me, wanting to know, hey, like what's going on? What's going on? So we're going to go ahead and get that done right now. So if you're new to the channel, like I say, please go ahead and make sure that you subscribe. Been doing this for some time, but really talking about the mindset for a few months. Just been getting a light and getting to the higher state. A lot of folks won't talk about that. A lot of folks will be like, well, there's no higher state. But to me, it is. To me, if you truly want something in life, you're going to go after it. You're truly going to go after what you want, and you're not going to let anyone or anything stop you. So got my chat open right now, guys. So if y'all are writing to me, I'll be able to chime in and talk to you. Let's go ahead and get this thing sent out to the news feeds that people are looking. All right. It's a few more people. Now, I wish I had another person that was working with me, to be honest with you, because uh, doing this, we have to get the message out, but this takes a while, even with me using StreamYard. So that's why the camera looks kind of off, because we're using a different camera. This camera, for some reason, is not working. I might have to do a hard restart on my computer here, but we're not doing that now. As long as y'all can hear me, we're going to keep going. We're going to go with what we got, and that's how you got to be. Some people will wait until everything's perfect, but I have to tell you something. We're never going to live in a world that's going to be absolutely perfect. You may not have all the things that you need to have to keep going forward, but you're going to be going the way that you need to go, versus you just standing still or taking an L, whatever it may be that you might be going through. Because I tell you my situation, right? I was born, almost died multiple times at the hospital because of bronchitis. And my mom always tells me about that, right? And I could have been gone, but you know what? We fought. We fought and we kept going. We didn't give up. At the end of the day, this is all about you guys. I'm sending it to one more, guys, and next time I'm gonna send my team to post this out here for me. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and set this thing up. So I look at it like this: getting the right mindset. With the right mindset, you have to be cognizant of your surroundings. And what I mean by that is, who are you hanging out with? Who are you actually dealing with? Are you with like-minded individuals that want to get higher conscience, meaning that they want to do better? They're not sitting here complaining. There's one thing about complaining, not saying no one complain, but it's another thing that you sit around, complain, and go with the program. You don't try to change your situation. That's where I have a problem with. I know a few months ago, I could have sat there and complained, but guess what would have happened? My health would have deteriorated. I would have become bitter. I could have been a person who would have just lashed out at anyone, want to start fights, start being reckless as far as like doing reckless things out in town or in my own life or whatnot. Or I could have turned around and said, hey, well, let's face this demon. Let's face the situation that we're in. A lot of folks don't want to go through that. They don't want to face it. It's just like them going into a scary movie. Every scene where Jason or Freddy's around and people are knowing that they got to face this. They can't outrun it. They can't out hide it, but they try to do these things. And guess what? They end up getting killed. And that is that we allow the things that we did before that we are sorry for, but did before hold us down. And we use that as an excuse. We use that as something that's to hold us back because we can't get any better because we got all this drama going on. Well, we have to let that go. That's one thing I would say. We have to let that go in order for us to move forward. Your mind has to get there. Again, you need to be getting into books. You should have a thing where you try to at least get one book in a month. A lot of people don't get books unless it's requirement in school. And I hate to say that, but when we go to school, they force us to read stuff that's irrelevant. Sometimes it's good, but most of the time it's irrelevant because how I say that is that when we go out to the world after we graduate from college or high school, wherever it may be, you work in the same crap, and then you see people who didn't complete all the school or doesn't have much school as you making more than you. So the mindset is right there. And you might say, why is it that they're making more money? It's because of their mindset. They didn't go with the program. Most of us in this world is going with a program. They're saying it's okay to be average. It's okay to be a loser. It's okay to just settle. And I'm telling you, that's not it. If you settling, for example, and you turn around and you're not happy with your life, but you keep settling, tell me how that makes sense. Make it make sense to me. If you can't do that, then it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you in the long run. It's not going to help you at all, period. When you confront those demons, when you face what's going on inside your life right now, it's going to be the only thing that I can see that can happen, right? So I would tell you this: get your head together, make a difference in your life first, not anyone else's life, your life. I see someone's writing something to me here. How do I get there? How do I get into the process of doing it? The first thing you got to do is literally face the demon. Like I'm looking in the mirror right now. You got to face that demon. You got to face whatever it is that's holding you back. It could have been something dramatic that happened in your life where it could have been a career. It could have been lost. And this is just based off of what I felt. Something happened in your career, something happened with your family member or whatever it may be, and start analyzing the problem. Now, when I say analyze, I'm not sitting here talking about, hey, what if I played it this way, play it that way? Understand what the lesson is. I always believe that when we go through struggles, there's a lesson to gain from it. Now, it's up to you if you're going to get stronger or you're going to sit there and cry and get weak. For me, that second option is not on the table, and it should not be an option for you on your table. It should be where you should be going after what you truly desire and not letting anyone stop you from acquiring that. Let's see what else we got here. Hold on. Okay. My other thing that I would tell people is about your nutrition. You are what you eat. You truly are. I know when I was going through the issues that I was facing, I faced like eating the wrong things. I end up having my stomach out, way out. Like I still got weight on me, but my weight's coming off. It's coming off gracefully, I would say. And I'm going through the workouts and going through all the things that I need to go through. But like when I was doing bad habits, I was in the wrong mindset. I was probably almost 230 pounds. Now imagine my body 230 pounds, and I felt it. I felt my skin being tight, belt, couldn't barely put pants on. And I'm like acting like I can hold it. Now I saw the worst picture ever is when I went to Thailand, maybe in 2023. Yeah, 2023. I got a picture with my shirt off, and I see how my stomach is. And it's like I didn't eat anything, but my stomach is so bloated, and it was scary. And then I ended up going to the emergency room. When I went to the emergency room, they had to do not gasket surgery or whatever, but they had to go inside my throat and get an ethoscope and go down there and see what was going on to see, hey, what's going on inside his stomach. And doc told me, hey, you got to stay with spicy foods. If you're drinking, you need to cut back on it. I'm not saying you can't drink, but you need to cut back. And I had all this medication, and medicine made me bloat. Like it made it worse. Where yeah, your stomach's okay, but you got all this inflammation in your body, and it wasn't helping me. And that's when I start looking at natural things. It was like, hey, why don't we try the lemon and ginger tea? And I got to make some tonight. Why don't I drink that before going to bed? And I start doing that. I stop drinking every day. I stop smoking every day. All these things, and it start not only work on my body, work on my mind, because my head start being clear. I start looking at things. I start looking at different angles. It stopped the laziness at the end of the day, because everyone knows I'm an avid worker. I work out, things like that. But it's just like when things happened in my past, I let it override my life in the present and in the future. And you can't have that. You cannot have something in your past ruin the moment in your future, because it's the past. You can't correct it unless you got a time machine. You're not going to be able to correct it. You're not going to be able to change that situation. And some folks lay on it all the time. They're just like, hey, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's not your fault. And I truly will tell you that it's not your fault. But you do have to learn how to make yourself a better person. The final thing I'm going to put out here is I just wanted to be short. This is an extra live because the last two lives last night was kind of crazy. And if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you subscribe. The other thing I would say finally is that get professional help. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people are like, I'm not crazy, especially black people. I would tell you that right now. They're like, I don't need no help. We're the ones that need the most help, to be honest with you. With all the stuff that's happened to us, I do believe in not the generational curse, but I do believe our DNA does carry memories, does carry traumatic experiences. If you was a foundational Black American, just like I am, I'm a descendant of a foundational Black American, meaning that my ancestors was shipped on a boat against their will into another land to work for free. Slavery, rape, all those things that takes place in that time period, right? That stuff can still linger in your DNA. That's why we got a lot of high blood pressure. We got a lot of stress. Stress is no one killer for black folks. We got all this craziness going on in this world, especially in America. The thing that we have to really focus on is getting professional help. I'm not sitting there saying you need to take pills, this and that. I'm talking about going to therapy, going to group counseling, going through all those things, especially for our vets too. For my father, I wish he was still alive because we talked about these things, but you could tell a person who served in the war, he served in Vietnam. You can't shake that off. That's not like you going down the street and someone throwing water at you, or you saw someone get in a fight. You seen people getting blown up, you getting people knocked out, people coming back dismembered, things like that. He told me about that. And I had never experienced. I only had one close call with someone that was on the ship when I first joined, and they got her face ripped off, and that was scary because you could see the blood and people screaming and stuff. But like, you didn't see her face. It was like this piece was all open, like I don't know if you call it Two-Face or whatever, but this was all open, like Venom. If you want to say Venom, the movie, this is all open because the hook came in when we're doing unwrap, and it ripped. in her whole face. She got 100% disability. She said she could not feel her right side of her face forever because it was permanent nerve damage. But you know, it's traumatizing. And I would tell you that if we really want to, I'm not saying to forget, please don't forget where you come from, but to really going forward, not saying to take those medicines if you do not need to take medicine, because they're quick. The industry is quick to have you take medicine when you don't need medicine. I can speak to that on another time, but getting professional help, seeking professional help. So if you're going through a problem, there's a death or trauma or anything that's still lingering on that you holding on to, because I believe that when you hold on to things, and I talked about this last night, if you don't let go, you're blocking your blessing. You're blocking something that you may be receiving, but it's just like it's pending. It's just pending, it's pending, and you don't know what to do to get about, you know. But at the end of the day, when you do that, because I can speak through my experience when I lost my dad, I went to counseling. I still go to counseling. Nothing wrong with going to counseling. We talk. We talk about like, hey, what you're going through, because sometimes you can't talk to family. Sometimes family might be going through a worse area than you are, and they can't process it either. So imagine you bouncing off stuff to someone who's the same level of depression or negativity or whatever is going on, or even worse. It's not going to, because you're feeding off of each other, and it's negative. It's not positive. Positive on positive is not there. It's just like you can't have two negatives together. It's not going to work. You want to have people around you that can be able to listen, take it from a fresh perspective, and give you an answer on what you should do, or a possibility what you should look into. And it helped me out too. It changed really how I think about things and about what I want in life. And I suggest that you all do the same. So guys, I hope that this fulfills your needs here. I probably go back on the YouTube alone to do lives, because I'm looking at the data. It's like it went up and went down. I don't know how they can tell when I'm using something else other than that platform. Maybe just showing that, hey, he's here, but he's not on the platform directly. But till then, guys, I see you soon. If you are new to the channel, like again, I say, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything, let me ask you, what are you doing to get your mindset? Drop it down in the comments. All right, guys, I got to go. I got to get into my book. I got to finish doing some writing. Take care.